seek such an employment. Okay, so that was just a few examples of forgetting or a delay of one posture rather. Number 11, forgetting the takbir of Qunoot. Okay, so now we're talking about the witr wajib, the 3 rakat witr wajib. After, when you're in the 3rd rakat, you've read Surah Fatiha, you've read your surah, what you meant to do, you meant to do the takbir of Qunoot and then read Dua Qunoot. So Allahu Akbar. Now if a person forgets that Allahu Akbar and they just in this scenario that we're making up, he forgot the Allahu Akbar and he just started reading Dua Qunoot. So lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad, and he just forgot Allahumma inna nasta'inuka wa nastaghfiruka. So he's forgot to say Allahu Akbar, sajda sahw will be necessary. Now note that the actual raising of the hands is sunnat. So if a person said Allahu Akbar, but he just forgot to raise his hands, then the namaz is valid, because the raising of the hands is sunnati muakkada. Like we mentioned in the faraz, that takbir tahrima, the first Allahu Akbar that you do and you raise your hands, the raising of the hands at that time is sunnat. The actual phrase Allahu Akbar, that is what is faraz. So here the phrase Allahu Akbar is wajib, the actual action is sunnat. This is why the scholars say, now for me to mention this ruling, you're going to have to understand a bit of an introduction and a background, is qaza namazes. When we do qaza namazes, which namazes do we do qaza for? All of our faraz namazes, just the faraz. So 2 faraz, 4 faraz of Zuhr, 4 faraz of Asr, 4 faraz of Isha. But along with that, we also have to do qaza of the 3 rakat witr wajib. So many people forget this. They only do it of the 5 faraz and they don't do it of the 6 3 rakat witr wajib. To the extent that if a person passed away and you are giving fidya on their behalf, or within their lifetime they decided to give fidya for the missed namazes, then they will also give it on on behalf of all 6. So the 5 faraz namazes, and number 6 the witr wajib as well. As for the sunnat namazes, you don't do qaza of them later on. So what do you do qaza for? The 5 faraz and number 6 witr wajib as well. So you have to do qaza of witr wajib. So the ruling I was mentioning, that raising the hands is sunnat. So based on this, the scholars say that if you are reading your 3 rakat witr wajib qaza in a congregation, in an area where people are around you, you shouldn't raise your hands when you're doing the qaza of the 3 rakat witr wajib. So Allahu Akbar, you're doing qaza, everybody's going to look at you and they'll see and they'll acknowledge that you are reading your qaza of wajib. And we mentioned this earlier, that if a person realizes this is you exposing yourself, that you've missed a namaz that was necessary upon you. You are exposing yourself that you committed a sin. So this is why you shouldn't raise the hands. All you say, you're reading the 3 rakat witr wajib, you've read your surah, Allahu Akbar. You just say Allahu Akbar without raising the hands if you're doing qaza in such an area where other people might see you. Ji. Mr. Ruku, you'll have to listen back a few weeks. We mentioned this. So I'll mention it quickly. If a person misses ruku, he's in sajda, he's just going to go back up into ruku and he'll repeat the 2 sajdas and he'll do sajda sawa at the end. So it's simple that if you remember whilst you're in sajda, you go straight back into ruku, and even if you had done 1 sajda before, after the ruku you do 2 sajdas again, and at the end you do sajda sah because you call the delay. Yes. Well,